Yeah, so the first page of your notes should be the elimination notes, and we have some examples on it. Y'all remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and today we're going to the next page, page 2, we're doing substitution. And for substitution, I'm going to show y'all one example, and then I'll let y'all get started, and if we need more examples, we can go farther into it. But y'all have seen this in Algebra 1, but I'm sure y'all need some refreshers, because these are a little bit, these ones are a little bit hard. So we're going to go step by step, and like we did the other day, make sure during each step you're documenting the process so that you can refer to that later. So these are the two problems. And on step 1, y'all will read that. It says solve one of the equations for either x or y. So if you were to look at these two equations, I know it's a lot of information. Which one do you think would be the simplest and that we could maybe do in just one step to solve for x or y? The top one or the bottom one?
Bottom.
Bottom one. Right. Why is that though? Yeah. The only thing in front of this y is really just your imaginary 1. So we're not having to get rid of stuff. We've already got the y pretty much by itself. So if we choose this equation and we want it to set equal to y equals, how do we move stuff around to do that?
Subtract 2x, put on the other side.
Yeah, subtract 2x. Because this is a positive 2x, we're going to subtract it. So on your notes, that step 1, you should take this equation and solve it for y. And this is what we're left with now. So what does step 3 tell us to do? Solve the equation for x. So I'm going to move way over here. This is step 3. And now what we have is 27 minus 8x equals 11. So if we're solving for the variable, which is what step 3 told us, what's the first step we're going to take? Subtract 27. This is positive, so we'll do the opposite. Subtract. And what are we left with?
Negative 16.
Negative 16. Right, negative 8x equals negative 16. And our last step to get x by itself.
Divide the negative 8 and negative 16.
Yes, divide both sides by that negative 8. They're multiplying here, so you're always going to do the opposite. Divide by negative 8. So now x equals what? Positive or negative 2?
Positive.
It's going to be positive, right, because the negative divided by the negative. If you're unsure about some of those, because you're going to do a lot of steps, it's totally fine to enter that into your calculator just to double check. So x equals 2. Good job. So we found one variable, and that's half of our solution, right? Because when we're doing these systems of equations, we have x and y, and we need to find both. So what would be the step to take to find y?
Plug it in.
Plug it in, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be step 4 in your notes.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all read step 4 to me real quick.
Put the new x value into either of the original equations in order to solve for y. Pick
Yeah.
the easier one to work with.
Good. So it says to pick the easier equation to work with. So which one do y'all want to work with?
Do the second one.
Yeah, the second one's still easy because you just have this one. So we have y equals 2, nope, sorry, y plus 2x equals 9. And again, we're plugging in. Earlier, we plugged in a y value, which is really long. Now we're just plugging in an x value that's one term. So it's going to be y plus 2 times x, and we solved x to be 2, equals 9. So the very last thing we're doing for this whole problem is to find what y equals. So what is the last step to do that?
You can just subtract.
Right, so this is just y plus 4. Sorry. And the last step is subtract that 4. So now we have y equals what?
5.
Y equals 5, right. So your solutions are x equals 2, y equals 5. If we wanted to write that as an ordered pair, what would it be?
2.
2 and 5.
2, 5.
Yeah, 2, 5. So there's 2, 5. So all that work, there was 4 different steps to solve these two equations. Good job, guys. Let me see what the next. Oh,
So you just like check it.
yeah. So step 5 is telling you to check it. So it says to plug this x that you found and this y that you found back into the original equations and see if they work. So we'll do that real quick. say 3 times y is going to be 5 minus 2 times x equals 11. So y'all do that math real quick and tell me if that works out.
It does.
It does?
Yep.
So yeah, 15 minus 4 is 11. The next part is y, which was 5, plus 2x equals 9. Does that one work out too?
Yep.
Yeah. So when both of those equations work out, then yes, you have your right answers.